So we still don't have a good intro.
No, that's okay.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
we should
This is a
start
good
talking.
intro.
That's correct.
Yeah. Should we have done the thing that you wanted to do?
Yeah.
To just talking.
So what's the worst thing that happened to you today?
It's the worst thing that happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't really had anything bad happen today. Did you have anything?
Yeah, I got up at 4.
That's good.
These days are tough. I don't.
Does that?
I'm still trying to transition.
So does that make you extra tired today?
Yes,
because that's what we're going to talk about. So,
like as I sat down,
yeah,
I was like kind of heavy behind the eyes. I was like, shit, I'm not in like a super.
Like you're heavy right now.
A little bit.
You're gonna take a nap during. I can't believe how much this isn't even like an act.
No, I actually feel this way.
Yeah, we did.
And I can tell. I can tell because my eyes are watering a little bit.
Yeah,
when they're watering, like at noon when we're filming.
I like when you do like the 2 hands to the face, like for people watching on YouTube. It's like
what do I do? Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's very aggressive. Yeah.
It's like shoving my eyeballs.
If you want to see what Peter looks like when he gets tired, it's actually it's like super dramatic.
It's because the eyes are watering.
Yeah.
And this isn't coffee, by the way. This is it's a hot chocolate.
Oh, hot chocolate. You're drinking hot chocolate?
Yeah.
We put it out for one day and you already went after it.
Oh shit! I put it into my macro stacks, so I can do it.
So you could do it. How many calories in the hot? It's a dark chocolate, hot chocolate. I believe.
It's very small. It's like 50.
Yeah. Is it good?
Yeah, I mean it's fine.
Is there caffeine in hot chocolate?
No. Not this.
Not that one.
It said there was 0. Yeah, I mean if there's chocolate that has a lot of caffeine, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just doing it for flavor.
Yeah.
I quit coffee.
So you're going to hot chocolate instead?
No, it's usually tea.
That's like, I stopped drinking Diet Coke, but I'm doing heroin instead. Oh. It's fine. At least I'm not drinking.
I quit caffeine, but now I'm like mainlining sugar.
I don't know if that's a great. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
We should probably talk about that more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's your let's talk about it in general because that's what today's episode is about. The intro was not planned.
That wasn't planned at all,
but it worked out perfectly.
Yep.
Since we don't have any scheduled intros, so today's episode, aptly titled, will be something like "Why are we all so tired?"
A lot of people, most.
So literally every day, like no matter who I talk to,
I'm so tired.
I'm so tired.
Yeah,
everyone's so tired, including me. Like I feel tired a lot of time, unless
during the day.
Yeah, just
in general.
Well, we'll kind of talk about it more, but like kind of if I stop, like at any given point, like if I were to stop, like right now, if I were to lean back in this chair, you would just close my eyes and we weren't talking, I could fall asleep in like 3 minutes.
Your body would quit.
Just done. I'm out. Like I'm totally out. And I'm not alone. Like I know my wife, for instance, like we've started, like we're both, I'm 49, she's 48. Right?
Old biddies.
And we've started like napping as like almost like a regular thing. Although the last couple of weeks we haven't really, but like before that we were doing pretty regular naps, and it was great. And I love a good nap.
Like intentional.
But I immediately was like, oh my god, like
I'm old.
I'm just like, am I an old person?
Grandpa.
What is happening? But as I bring it up to other people, I find out I'm not alone. And people younger than me are napping, and people younger than me feel tired all the time, and people younger than me are like just generally exhausted.
Yeah.
Like they have trouble getting through the day. And so then that made me think, well, what the hell?
Why are we all so tired?
Why is everyone so tired? And it seems like it's becoming more and more and more and more that people are just feeling exhausted all of the time. So I thought, well, this would be something good to talk about. And even you, the mighty Peter, who is like, does most things right.
Oh, I try hard.
You eat well, you know, all the things, right? You do all of the things right. And even you are tired, you know, and just literally, okay, you woke up at 4. That's like 1 hour. You went to bed at 9, right? Ish. You slept till 4. So that's 7 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Which by the rule of law is like, okay.
I'm used to 8.
Yeah. But like you shouldn't be exhausted at.
I mean, I guess I'm not exhausted, but
we're at noon.
I'm below my baseline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's like 1 hour of sleep. So let's talk about that. Like how much sleep should someone get? And does 1 hour really make a freaking difference?
It can if you're used to the other thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you should get about 8 hours of sleep if you can manage it, especially if like you're an active like person, your mind needs to rest and needs to flush itself out.
Yeah.
Your body needs repair if you get a lot of exercise and so on and so forth. Some people do need less, some people do need more, but like that's why it's like 7 to 9 is like the metric. And then if you can get 8 on average, but it doesn't mean that like 8 means you go to bed at 9 and then wake up at 5. It means you like get in bed at 8:30.
Oh yeah.
Maybe fall asleep by 9 and then get 8 hours of sleep. And then hopefully you only go up to pee once.
So based on that standard, I'm getting probably close to 6 hours a night.
Yeah, totally.
Because I get up before most days because I have to get to
Yeah,
work for
you're
5.
underslept for sure.
And I don't usually get into bed until like 9:15, 9:30, which means I'm probably not asleep until 10.
You're underslept.
So
And that's most people, right?
Yeah.
And that's most of our clients. And
so I think that's good feedback though, right? So I think most people think like, oh, I go to bed at this time, therefore I'm getting this much sleep.
not at all.
And they don't factor in the time it takes to fall asleep.
It's actually about an hour.
Yeah.
It's about an hour that you get less of active sleep than the total time in which you like landed in bed and when you woke up.
Yeah.
If you look and we know this because you can look at like sleep trackers that we have tons of data on.
Yeah.
It's about 45 minutes to an hour, generally speaking.
To get to the basic level of sleep.
No.
To get into the deep
so
sleep.
including how long it takes you to get to sleep.
Yep.
And how many times like you're waking at night. And all that stuff. So like on average, between like all of those times that aren't actually involved in sleep, whether it's light, deep, REM, or whatever, it's about 45 minutes to an hour of extra sleep that you don't get.
Wow. How many times do you get up during the night?
It depends. I do try.
On average.
Yeah, so 1 to 2.
To pee?
To pee.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, and I try not to drink water at the end of the night because of this, because I want to get sleep.
Do you know that actually when it happens, I'm like excited because I know I'm going to weigh less the next morning.
Oh.
So the more I pee during the night, because I drink a lot of water, the more I pee, I'm like, yes. I was like, but on the nights I don't pee, like if I don't wake up at all, it means I was probably not hydrated well the day before. And I know I'm going to weigh more. Like
because you didn't pee.
Because I didn't pee at all. Drink. Yes, this is what happens.
You wake up, you're like, oh, yeah.
I do. I go to the bathroom and I'm like, yes. And then I go, like last night I peed twice. And I weighed like less this morning. I was like, that's the key. Don't sleep, pee a lot, and I'll weigh less in the morning. That's how I'm going to attack my weight loss.
You love these lazy strategies.
I'm trying to find the most efficient way to get it done.
Always.
But I do. I think about that in the middle of the night. I'm like, oh, this is nice. Like I'm peeing.
I guess.
But is it good to pee at night? I mean, you're waking up. So shouldn't ideally you stop peeing before you you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
try
ideally
to get your hydration in early enough in the day so that you're not.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
do most people pee in the middle of the night?
I'd say most people pee like one time a night. Yeah. I think that's normal.
It's weird. Like, why weren't we designed to not pee in the middle of the night?
Because we weren't designed.
I'm just. Why didn't we evolve to not pee?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe evolutionarily, it's good for us to have woken up in the middle of the night to make sure that no predators are creeping up on us in our camp.
Wasn't there a theory too that along the way that like we were actually, meant to sleep, like only sleep a couple hours at night, and then wake up and then have like thing and then go back?
You've talked about that.
I've heard that before. Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know how true that is.
I don't either.
But maybe that's part of it. We get up to pee and you're supposed to just stay up, and then go. But I mean,
so we're also tired because life is so busy. Plus, we do so much. Plus, I think like we tend to not shut our brains off during the day.
Yeah.
And then you have that like stress upon the brain and just generally overworked, overloaded, not getting enough sleep, not getting enough exercise. Like there's so many factors that involve like your fatigue level and your tiredness.
Yeah. So what do you think is like the ones for you? Like I think for me, like my brain is busy all day long.
Yeah.
Right. Like
that's me too.
So I tend to always feel the need to be productive. So even if I'm like lately, like if I'm just sitting on the couch and maybe we're watching a show, like I find myself reaching for the computer to be like, oh, I can do this thing. Or
you have a thought and then you like,
I go to do it and I almost feel bad when I'm not doing it. I just feel like I should be productive. I'm like, I'm sitting here. I shouldn't just be watching. Yeah. I like to be lazy, but I also like to be productive. You know what I mean? Like I like to get things done, or I have a million things to get done because we're always working on things around here.
So about a year ago, I identified that the business, the ongoings of the business was too much from a mental load perspective. Like how often I got to because like I feel like there's two modes. Like when you relax, it's real different than when you're like engaged.
Yeah.
Right. And focused. Right. And that's like most of the time. And if I do that at home too, I never actually allow my mind to relax and to shut down and just like chill a little bit.
Right.
I look at it seriously like exercise. Like if I just exercised all the time, well, there's going to be a point at which it's too much and I have to freaking stop or I'm going to get hurt. So we intentionally rest. And it feels to me that the brain is the same. If it's too much in one direction, too much churn, then you get overworked, you get burnt out, you get chronically stressed. And so about a year ago, I was like, okay, I have to actually like intentionally build in, like, I watch TV with Evan now and Stacey. I do this on purpose. And I intentionally did that because I was like, I need to stop. Like I need to actually totally shut down the mind
But during that time,
and
do you
release.
actually watch
Mhm.
TV the whole time? Is
Mhm.
your phone like somewhere
Mhm.
else? Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm doing those intentional activities, my phone is like on silent away from me physically in a different room.
Yeah.
So that even if I have a business thought, I can't reach for the thing and do it because it's not physically possible. And I'm with my son or my wife.
Yeah.
So I've designed those moments on purpose to be able to shut the brain down from the thing it's doing all day long. So
Right.
that, and then intentionally at night too, I try very hard. I fail often, but I try very hard to not do work so that my mind isn't racing prior to bed, because there's a difference again between problem solving and relaxation. If I'm
Yeah.
problem solving before bed, I'm just kind of wired a little bit. So it
Yeah,
takes
sure.
longer, or I lay
It's
in bed
hard.
for an hour and I'm like, well,
Right. You're still like ruminating on the thing that you were
yeah.
thinking about.
So those are some of the strategies I've been working on, including quitting caffeine just as an experiment, because again, it didn't do anything for me in the morning. Like I would drink it out of habit, and I drink maybe 2 or 3 mugs a day.
Yeah.
Didn't feel anything, but it was like it was a ritual. And then when I quit, like when I decided to stop 2 weeks ago, I don't know if you know, last week was really difficult for me. Like I had essentially headaches all day.
Yeah.
And I was tired all day long.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell if it was if it was like the caffeine,
Yeah.
or if it was just general stress. But because like the next week was way better, I was like, okay, like clearly,
Probably the
I was
caffeine. Yeah.
dependent upon caffeine
I
for
like to
sure.
generally think that you're just mentally weak
Yeah, I know you do.
most of the
Yeah,
time
I'm
when it
aware that
comes to
that's
this
exactly
thing.
what you think. Yeah.
I mean, just tough it out.
Mhm.
You were just like, oh, I'm
Just
missing the caffeine. I must have a headache now.
I didn't talk about it, did I?
You did not actually. Yeah.
I dealt with it.
I actually didn't even notice.
Mhm.
So you did good.
Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's rare for you because usually it's like a whole it's like a whole thing. It's like a big to do. Going back to like the work culture, I think that's like with people. I know we get a lot of our clients work in tech,
Mhm.
and their
Yeah,
clients are
that's
all
true.
over the world, and so or even if they're not just in tech, just any in general, many businesses and companies now they have clients all over the world, and so they don't really have working hours.
Yeah,
Like
it's kind of whenever.
they kind of work all of the time,
Like
you
not like
know.
10 at night, they have to jump on a call or some nonsense.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so that's a little foreign to us. Like we don't do that to that extreme. But yeah, like we have people that are literally 2 a.m. they have a
Mhm.
call with Tokyo or something, right?
Yeah.
That's just the expectation for their jobs.
Yeah,
And
you're
so
essentially working all of the time and you don't really get downtime.
yeah, they don't have like you work 9 to 5, 40 hours a week or whatever. They work
Yeah.
like it's just a job. These are the expectations. This is the role,
Mhm.
like the role of the job, and you just do it whenever it needs to be done.
Mhm.
And if the client needs you at this time, that's when you're available, and then you can do whatever you want from 10 to 12. But like at 12, you have whatever. So
Yeah, so what the
I think
hell?
that's I think our culture continues to move more and more towards
Especially
that
from the work
expectation.
from home.
Yeah, you
There was
work at
no fine, you don't get to leave the office.
yeah, you're not like going to a building, leaving the building, that kind of
Mhm.
thing. So I think that line has been like grayed so much that now it's just the norm.
Yeah.
This is just what people do. And so
Mhm.
they're at their kids like game and they're working.
Yeah, that's so
They're
brutal.
at yeah,
I hate it so
and they
much.
have to.
I feel like I'm a bit of a slave to. So like, look, our business is mostly run off of the phone in the sense we use our
Yeah.
computers, but when you're like not on a computer, you can do everything on the phone. So it feels to me like I'm somewhat of a slave to it. Meaning like there are so many things that happen that tell me that like, hey, you have to respond to X, Y, and Z. And if my phone is on me, I will,
Right.
regardless of setting. So like I must decide like I cannot have my phone on me, or I'm just not present, and then I'm not actually doing the thing that I want to be doing.
Right. And if the brain is going all the time, it just makes us feel more tired more of the time because we're not
Mhm.
getting like the appropriate rest that we need. So
Yeah, you're never letting that mode shut off. You're never
right.
using one side of the brain. You're just using it all of the time, and like it gets overloaded and fatigued.
I'm curious about the caffeine thing a little bit too. Like, isn't the expectation of caffeine that it wakes you up?
Mm-hmm.
So why would I be more like why it doesn't make sense to me. Like why would I be more tired
Yeah,
if I'm drinking caffeine? Like you stopped caffeine,
yeah.
and of course now it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon and you're exhausted. So maybe you should get back on
No, I'm
it.
not. I'm fine.
I mean, you're like rubbing the eyes. I mean, you're doing the thing.
Yeah, so we feel good
But,
now, though, right?
so what is the mechanism? I guess for me and probably a lot of people, like what not fully understanding what it is that caffeine actually does
Mm.
and why being on a cycle of caffeine would actually make us more tired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
could you understand that better than me?
I
Because
think
I
so.
don't fully. Yeah.
So I think it's similar to blood sugar, but if we talk about caffeine first, I understand the blood sugar piece a little bit better. But the caffeine molecule blocks a receptor. The receptor is an adenosine receptor, right?
It's like in our brain.
Yeah, and so when you block that receptor, it doesn't allow your body to come down a little bit. So it's not that the caffeine is giving you making you more awake. It says blocking the thing that's making you tired, like in your brain naturally.
Yeah, so, like, when we wake my understanding of adenosine, I understand, like, a little bit
Yeah.
now that you, like, bring that word up, is that when we wake up in the morning, like, we have flushed all of the adenosine, like, off of the
Mhm.
receptors. Is that accurate?
I think
Like,
so.
they bind to the receptor that makes us
Mhm.
tired, we sleep. In the
Yeah.
morning, that has all been, like, as part of our brain reflush overnight.
Yeah.
Those are now the receptors are now clear, so we're, like, awake. Caffeine, if timed correctly,
Mhm.
will bind to the same receptors and block the
It's
adenosine.
essentially it's a similar molecule to the adenosine.
Right.
So we'll bind to the receptor, which then essentially keeps you awake because you have
It's
less of
again,
the
yeah.
adenosine. Exactly.
Right, right.
Let's say the adenosine not
So then it
binding.
screws with the natural circadian rhythm.
Yeah, so you're artificially keeping yourself awake by
Right.
blocking these receptors in a sense.
I think the mistake a lot of people make, again, I'm kind of recalling a book that I read about sleep. It said, like, they drink coffee, like, first thing in the morning. It actually doesn't do anything at that point because the adenosine at that point hasn't rebuilt in your body's
You need a little bit of
system. And so it's not even interested in binding with the receptor yet. So you're putting caffeine on these receptors with the adenosine. So you're not really making yourself more awake or getting yourself awake. It doesn't have that effect
Mhm.
because the adenosine is not ready to bind anyway because you just woke up
Yeah.
and it just got flushed. So I think if you're going to drink coffee, like, for the purpose of staying awake, you
Yeah.
would do it kind of right around now in our day, which
Yeah.
is around noon, lunchtime, or a little bit before that, because that's when the adenosine starts to, like, go back towards the receptors. It builds up over the course of the day, and
Yeah.
then by the time you get to, like, night, like, sleep per the normal rhythm,
Mhm.
now you're fully ready for sleep. And I think if you were trying to have the effect of blocking it, it would be like drinking the coffee later. But
It also has
in
a
general, I think
similar.
it creates a bad cycle of, like, screwing with the normal rhythm of, like, your body.
Yeah, because then eventually, because you can't be on it all day.
Yeah.
And then so if you go off of it, all of a sudden there's like a super compensation effect.
Right.
And then, then you get like that lull, that tiredness,
Right.
which is similar to what happens if you're eating like simple sugars all day and your body is like cycling through this insulin response and you're driving those sugars into your blood and
Right.
you're going below baseline and you get that like sugar low. It's
Yeah.
the same as getting like the
That's, like,
energy
the
low.
worst, dude.
Yeah, those are the worst because
That's the worst. Like,
both
that,
of those
like,
will put you to sleep.
that's like my eyes can't even stay open. If I
Yeah, yeah.
if I eat something super sugary and then
Mhm.
have that, like, crash afterwards, I
It's
go through
over.
that spike,
You
like,
need to sleep.
I, like, can't, like, if I'm driving home or
Yeah.
something from somewhere, that's like one of those where you gotta pull over, like, your
Mhm.
eyes, like, literally can't stay.
The caffeine too will give you a focused effect, so which is different than the awakening effect in the
Mhm.
sense that like so people will take amphetamines like for the purpose of like being focused, like Adderall, for instance, right?
Right.
They'll take that for like to have a focused effect. So a lot of people in media and work and so on and so forth who need as students, they'll take Adderall. Caffeine has a very mild version of that. So it's
Mhm.
like it has a cognitive enhancing focus, like a benefit. So people will use it in the morning because they feel like they're more productive at work
Oh, okay.
because of that as well.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not just a wake up thing
It's not just a
necessarily.
wake up thing, but also like what happens is like what I find the reason why I feel like I didn't like quit coffee, but what I did is I wanted to take away the dependence that my brain had on coffee.
Mhm.
So like meaning like I had a coffee on
I
Saturday.
have noticed you've been a little dumb
Thanks.
the
Appreciate
last
that. A little slower. A
a
little,
little slow. Yeah. I had to really, like, I
drooling.
had to really, yeah, I was like, "Wake up. Yeah, let's go,
Like, I wonder
Peter.
what's going
Make
on
some
with him.
decisions." Yeah.
slow to the slow to the goal.
You know, I drink coffee most of the day,
I know.
like, all day long.
Yeah, yeah. And we
Yeah.
talked like a while ago about you stopping after 12. And I'm definitely noticing you like before work, you're like, fill her up at 2.
Why don't you just mind your own business and
Yeah.
just pay attention to your own coffee?
I hear.
Yeah, yeah. I even get it, like, after I go to the gym, I'll go get an iced coffee. I just like the way it tastes.
Yeah, it's a
It's part of
ritual.
my ritual. I often say it has nothing to do with, like, keeping me awake, like, in
Yeah.
my mind. Like, in my
Mhm.
mind, I don't do it for that reason. I don't say, like, "Oh, I'm feeling tired. I'm gonna have some coffee."
I
I
understand.
probably maybe do it more for the cognitive enhancement stuff.
It's also a
Maybe
little
that's
bit
why
of a
I'm so brilliant,
guilt-free like
you
pleasure.
think?
No, I'm not even
You're not
going
gonna
into that.
acknowledge
No,
that?
no, zero no
Would you
acknowledgement.
agree that my coffee drinking makes me significantly more brilliant?
I don't think so. Why don't
No.
you try next week? Why don't you take it away?
That sounds really bad. What if I
Yeah,
have headaches?
that'd be fine.
You already got me on the Lose It app, and I'm fatter. I literally got fatter.
That's your fault, dude.
I'm coming in under calories or at calories.
It's only been 2 weeks. You gotta give it some time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
one thing at a time. We'll
Yeah.
worry about the coffee later.
All right.
See if I can handle this.
Yeah.
Um, uh, go, going to another area that I just was thinking about was, remember yesterday, like, we were talking about something to do with the business. We came up with this, like, new idea, and we were talking about, like, different kind of expansion, new service, like, all this thing, and, like, we were so excited.
Mhm.
I went home and
Yeah,
I
I
was
was
like,
buzzing.
yeah, I was like totally buzzing for like
Yeah.
hours. I went home, told Jess. I hardly ever talk when I go home. Like I just don't. Like it's not.
Yeah.
I'm pretty quiet. I just do my thing.
Yeah,
Like
be your
I'll
like.
talk to Jess a little bit, but not. I don't often talk about my day. It's
Mhm.
not one of those kind of things. Like tell me about your day. Um, but when something is really
It's like
exciting
we had
me,
a breakthrough.
yes, like we had a
Mhm.
breakthrough. We're doing this thing, or we're doing this, we're doing this, and when you say it all out loud, like it kept reinvigorating me.
Mhm.
And that idea, like I felt like more energy during that part of the day than I normally would feel. And so I that made me think some more. Like this is an important part of having energy or feeling energetic in any given day
Mhm.
is this meaning, this idea of like purpose or meaning or excitement around what you're doing. If you get up and you're excited to go to work because you
Mhm.
genuinely
Oh
love where
yeah,
you
it's
work,
way better.
it's way better versus if you really just dread work
Mhm.
and then getting out of bed becomes
Yeah,
like
dear
super
Lord.
difficult,
Yeah,
right?
that's like an existential thing for most people's lives.
Right.
Work sucks, and they like just dragging to work. You get anxiety on Sunday night. Yeah, purpose is a big deal when it comes to work, man.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to energy and feeling tired, I think if you
Mhm.
can find things in your life that give you like, even if it can't be your job, right? Not everybody can have like a
Mhm.
job. Are you flexing your pecs at
I
me
didn't mean
during
to.
the thing? Your like pecs are literally like
I didn't mean
they're
to.
on the camera. People are gonna watch you flex. I'm not cutting that out either.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just hanging out.
I think if people can find, do they just move by
Yes.
themselves?
Yes, leave
That's
them
so
alone.
weird. My pecs don't move at all. Like my
maybe,
pecs don't move.
maybe you should train with me on Monday mornings.
Why? So my pecs can randomly
Yeah,
move when
so you
people are
can.
talking to me? It's so strange. What's wrong with you? Uh, going back to what I was saying
Yes.
is I think if even if it can't be work, not everybody unfortunately can like have a job that they genuinely love to go to,
Yeah, no,
but
for
they
sure.
can have things in their life that maybe give them the most joy. And if you can manufacture that into more days and something that you really genuinely look forward to, I
Mhm.
bet you'll have more energy on those like given days.
Yeah, it's usually connection and belonging. It's usually being a part of something bigger than you. Like that's you. It's usually that. It's like it's the opposite of being selfish. The opposite of like looking internally. It's what can I do for others, or what is there unity in this cause or this purpose that I can work towards. And it gives you a sense of like something to do and go for, which I think most people seek. There's a reason why that religion is in every culture.
Mhm.
It's just in everybody, whether you're an atheist or not, you seek some form of doctrine that is bigger than you, that will give you purpose in your life, which then, to speak to what you said, gives you energy, excitement, so on and so forth.
Yeah, and I honestly think it could be anything, right? It doesn't have to be, and I know you're not saying that it needs to be, it doesn't have to be religion, but it can be something as simply being part of like a bowling league.
Yeah, social.
Like that you look forward to like, oh, like Wednesday is my bowling night. So I guarantee you for people who love to bowl and say Wednesday night is the bowling league night, I bet you their energy on Wednesday is significantly higher. I know
Yeah,
something for me, for instance, like I love to watch my kids play sports.
yeah.
The days that they have games, like I wake up with like an excitement, like, I can feel it right
No,
away
that's
because
fun.
I know I get to go watch them play later that day, and
Yeah.
I look forward to it, so I'm, like, right out of bed, I'm getting ready, I go to work, and blah, 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 I do the whole thing, but all day long, I'm super excited about the opportunity to go watch them play,
It's great.
and on the days that they don't have something,
Yeah,
it's not that I mean, I still love coming to work and doing all that, but, like, I don't have the same level of excitement for what's going to happen, like, next, like, later in the day,
yeah.
especially during that time of the day where people feel, like, the lull. I think if you can design things in that part of your day that are worth looking forward, like after work, for
Either
instance.
psychologically and or physically active. I think both of those things will like help a lot. Like if you are
Yeah,
really looking forward to something,
yeah,
and it also goes into that next piece of like, I know you want to talk about being physically active. Like if you just go home
yeah.
and you go sit down on the couch,
Oh yeah,
you go to bed.
it's weird. Like being sedentary seems like it should make you more rested.
It doesn't at
Do you know what I
all. It
mean?
makes you
Like
so much more tired.
yeah, instantly you feel
I-
like more
If your
tired.
if your physical battery isn't trained, like it
Yeah.
feels to me like we have like a requirement every day that our bodies need to move, and if you don't kind of use that in some form, it seems like you get more tired because you didn't.
Mm.
For people who are very unfit or in a lot of pain, yeah, it sucks. And physical activity is hard and it probably makes you not want to do it. But if you're fit enough that you can go for a longer walk or brisk walk or like do some cardio, do some exercise, you get a mental boost from that. Like you physically feel less tired
Sure. Yeah.
because you worked out.
Is there like a chemical and hormonal effect of that too that you're aware of?
Yeah, yeah, and I don't
We
know
don't have
it.
to get into it, but
Yeah,
there is some sort of chemical part of
100.
that,
Well,
right? Like
that is what it is.
yeah, yeah,
So that's what's
that
causing it.
gives you the feeling of
You're
dysfunctional.
literally creating an endogenous chemical release to waken up the brain for sure.
Yeah. I don't even know what endogenous means.
It means from the body.
Sounds great though.
Yeah.
I bet you that's important.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what I
from
was
the
talking to you
body.
about the other day. Like you occasionally come up with these like really big words, which I'm always super impressed by
Okay.
because like
But you shouldn't be. It's just part of my vocabulary.
yeah, but like your general like up until
You trying to call me dumb?
up until like say college, you didn't have the most formalized of
I had
education.
zero education.
Right. So
Yeah.
your vocabulary is actually quite impressive for somebody
I don't know why.
that didn't have that.
Yeah,
Right.
my brain attaches to words that then I can
Yeah.
then access them in context.
Because I often will question your use of a word and you're almost always right.
Yeah,
Remember, I'm like, I
almost
think
exactly right.
yeah, I'm like, I
Yeah.
think that's the wrong word. You're like, I don't think it is.
And it could be a word that I haven't used for a decade.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, choosh, there it
Yeah.
goes.
Well, endogenous was a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you
From within.
Thank you for like the word of the day.
You're welcome.
But I would agree. Like I noticed, so I've been trying to ever since starting the Lose It app again. That also motivates me to exercise more.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
like, to me, they kind of go
They
hand
go
in
hand in
hand.
hand,
Like
yeah.
when I'm eating better, I
Diet
want to
and
exercise.
exercise.
I'm trying to like compound the effects of like the one thing on the other.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, I might as well, also do this other thing. But I've also noticed that, so I leave here, I go right to the gym
Well, that's
more,
why you've gained weight.
like more, yeah, I'm gaining muscle
Yeah.
more consistently. Right. So like I'm going there, but I have better energy when I get home from the gym.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That then allows me, because I typically go home from here and I do more work at home, like for like on the computer type stuff.
Yeah.
I find that I'm more productive, more efficient, and I get it done quicker. So going back to like my lazy,
That makes
the
sense.
episode about being lazy,
Yeah.
I'm actually finding that by being less lazy, by going to the gym, I'm able to get back to being lazy
More
quicker
productive.
because I can get the stuff done and I get it done earlier in the evening.
So you should work out every
So
day.
then I can be lazy later at night.
Yeah.
So working out is making me more lazy.
Every day.
It's great.
Yeah.
As connect the dots.
As your boss, I command you to work out every day.
You can't do that. I think I can sue you. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like unless like my job was actually something that required that.
Kind of is, right?
I think it probably is. I think you probably get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so I think, so what, if you had to give people, take home from this, like what's, our messaging is around not being better every day, but doing something different, right? To make an effect on their life. So the people out there who are listening to this, who are super exhausted, which is pretty much everybody.
Most of people.
If you could give them one, or I'll allow a couple, if you could give like a few things that you would say, like simple changes that they can make in their life to allow themselves to have a little bit more energy and feel a little less exhausted on a day-to-day basis. Even if it sounds I think some of the stuff might sound counterintuitive. I know it does to me sometimes.
Yeah.
Like for instance, drinking less coffee or like whatever. I'd love to hear it. Like, what would you say?
Yeah. So I always want to focus on the big ticket items first. I mean, there's so many things. Like we listed so many things in the beginning that we're all doing incorrectly as a society.
Yeah, it's like the 80-20 principle thing, right? Like
the things that
20%
get you
like
most of the way there.
Yeah, like the big changes that don't require a ton, but like will get you most of the way there.
Yeah, and they always kind of fall back to these huge lifestyle changes. It's like, we'll get more sleep, like move more often, and eat less bullshit. And stress is a big part of that too, right? That's a little bit more complicated because it requires lots of internal, like setting your intentions and really setting lots of strategies around when you allow your brain to be in certain states, and that can be challenging for people. But like generally speaking, from like a sleep perspective, it's the easiest one to do because it's kind of, you just have to set it and forget it, which means you have to plan the hour before bed. You plan your bed, and then when you're waking up, and if you can have a routine, if you're lucky enough to have a routine where you can get to bed and wake up at the same time, you can just curate that. Like, what does that look like? How do I get a good amount of sleep that my body needs? And then just like repeat that every day. And if you can manage that, like that's the biggest lever to pull, is just like get more high quality sleep.
Right. I would say sleep is one of the things that's most contingent upon routine. Like if you can create a good routine around going to
it's not like food where you have to eat every day. You have to
Yeah.
make choices every effing day to not eat some bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like sleep is just like, well, you have to set these parameters in place and then now do those things.
Right. Design it in such a way.
Yeah. So I find strategically the sleep the easiest one. So that's a huge one. And then like we had talked about, regular physical activity, like when you're more fit, you literally just have more energy throughout the day because it's not as hard for your body to move around because you have more strength, right? And stamina.
Right.
And so it's like maybe the set of stairs isn't exhausting and you feel like totally fine. So having a regular exercise routine will of course like make you have more energy as well, just as being a more fit and more active, more endurance type person.
Yeah.
And then I guess outside of that, the food thing is something to leverage as well, because if you're eating a lot of like simple sugars all day long, you're crashing your hormone system all day long. You're causing your insulin to spike, which then causes your blood glucose to drop below level, which then causes you to feel tired, which means then you need to eat again. And then you do this like
Vicious
cycle.
cycle.
It's
Yeah.
actually similar to caffeine.
Yeah.
And so both of those things,
I was hoping you wouldn't bring up caffeine.
if you can
Yeah.
cut both of those down to not be dependent upon them,
Yeah.
then you will definitely be less tired throughout the day for sure.
Yeah, I would say, I think for me, the one thing I would tell people, I would say, is the move more one. Because just from talking to my own clients, the ones who start here, who haven't, that's not been a normal part of their life until they've started here.
Yeah.
Even if they just came here for like physical therapy,
Yeah.
right? Like they're coming to see us because they have an injury. But the way we do physical therapy always involves some form of exercise. And it might be the first time they've done that in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
They almost inevitably tell me the next visit, I had so much energy the rest of the day, right? Like that one little effect of like moving their body and having that endogenous release of hormones and chemicals.
Wow, let's go.
Had an effect on them the rest of the day that they noted.
Mm.
And then that was like something that they enjoyed. And then of course we were like, okay, well then, we use that to bridge the gap between, okay, well, how do we then get you to go from physical therapy to somebody who also exercises normally, so that you always feel that way, right? And so I would say simple things. It doesn't have to be going to somebody like us, but it could be like just going for a walk after dinner or after like lunch. I think lunchtime is a big one. I think if people, instead of getting like the Dunkin' Donuts after lunchtime,
Yeah, that crashes you on the floor.
yeah, like most people have the after lunch crash, a combination of sort of whatever they're eating, right?
Yeah.
So if they're eating better food, they'll probably have less of that crash. But
You will.
but regardless, they're eating, the body tends to have a little bit of that, like wanting to digest the food, feel a little
Rest
bit
and
tired,
digest, yeah.
rest and digest. So I think if people were to just build in a little bit of movement of some sort after lunch, it would correct some of the things that you just talked about in terms of the blood sugar, but it would also just give them that little boost of energy for like the rest of the day. And I think that's probably the one thing I would say is maybe that mid-afternoon, go for a walk, do some like air squats. I don't know, find something that you can do if you can't make it to it.
To put some parameters around it, like literally if it's like a 15-minute walk after lunch, like if you have like maybe let's say you have an hour lunch, let's say you do whatever, 45 minutes to do whatever and eat, and then go for a 15-minute walk.
Yeah.
That actually, it's a big deal in terms of getting some of that blood sugar out of your blood into the tissues without the insulin response. So then it's a bit more baseline as opposed to dropping below, which makes you tired.
I always joke because after we take the kids out to dinner, like when we're on vacation or whatever, like if we're on a beach vacation, we go out to dinner. I was like, okay, we got to walk back to the house. Dad's got to burn off his glycogen. And I've been saying that since like they were like little kids. And so now they say it to me like, okay, we're going to go burn off the glycogen. Dad wants to burn off his glycogen.
That's funny.
Yeah. So it's a running joke in the Donia household.
Nice.
Okay, perfect. I think that's like good, useful information.
I agree.
Perfect. Good talk.
I'll see you, buddy.
All right. See you.
Bye.